Remember when Tom Brady and the Patriots got in trouble for deflating footballs? Or when the Giants wide receiver accidentally shot his own leg at a nightclub? These are the most shocking scandals in NFL history. Let's start with the time the Patriots were accused of messing with headsets. The incident known as Headset Gate.
Like what exactly happened? You just didn't have any communication?
We were listening to the Patriots radio broadcast for the majority of the first half on our headsets.
Involved the New England Patriots and the Steelers coach Mike Tomlin. After some tech troubles during a game in 2015, Tomlin didn't say much, but the Steelers website spilled the truth the next day. Their headsets had serious audio issues, allegedly tuning in to the Patriots game.
Our Patriots beat writer Doug Hyde weighed in on Pittsburgh Steelers coach Mike Tomlin's role in the communication controversy.
Rumor has it that every time a league official checked the problem, the headsets magically worked fine. But as soon as the official left, bam! The audio issues were back. Coincidence or another cheating scandal? The NFL insisted the headsets were on loan and couldn't be tampered with, but many Steelers fans and the team itself cried foul, thinking it was a blatant case of cheating. But this wasn't the first time the Patriots got in trouble for cheating. The year before, they'd been involved in a bigger scandal, Deflategate.
Did they or didn't they? It's the alleged cheating scandal launching 1,000 saucy headlines. Deflategate.
So, during the 2014 NFL season, Tom Brady and the Patriots got accused of intentionally deflating footballs. The whole mess started when the Colts equipment manager felt something off about the balls in 2 games that season, including the AFC Championship.
I caught this during an interception, I ran with it, and I noticed something was wrong with the ball.
And here kicks off the drama, a real tug-of-war between the league, the players' union, and even the U.S. Supreme Court. Roger Goodell came down hard, overriding everyone to slap Brady with a 4-game suspension at the start of the 2015 season. What a wild ride. But if you thought that was shocking, you aren't prepared for this next scheme. Back in 2012, the New Orleans Saints were in major trouble for what some people called Bounty Gate. Some key players, including the head honcho Sean Payton and defensive big shot Jonathan Vilma, got suspended by the NFL. Why? Well, they were supposedly a part of a scheme led by defensive guru Greg Williams, where players got rewards for knocking opponents out of the game.
The allegation that players on the New Orleans Saints were paid money for hitting players with such brutal force it knocked them out of games.
Vilma, a linebacker, apparently threw in 10 grand for anyone who could take out quarterbacks Brett Favre or Kurt Warner during playoff games in 2009. And where did that money come from? Allegedly, it was courtesy of Williams. Peyton and Vilma got benched for the whole season, and a bunch of other defensive players. Plus, Saints GM Mickey Loomis got benched for a few games. Williams got the harshest penalty, an indefinite suspension, but they eventually let him back in. With Peyton sidelined, Joe Vitt took the interim head coach gig. But guess what? He got his suspension for knowing about the whole bounty deal and not doing anything about it. So for the first 6 games of the season, offensive line coach Aaron Kromer stepped up to the plate. The Saints, who rocked a killer 13-3 record in 2011, stumbled big time in 2012, ending with a 7-9 record and even setting a record for the most yards allowed in a single season. Yikes! It's one thing to cheat to get an unfair advantage, and another actually to do something illegal like this next player did. In 2008, New York Giants wide receiver Plaxico Burress got in some serious trouble. The Super Bowl hero, the Super Bowl 42 hero, ended up convicted of an attempted criminal possession of a weapon, landing a 2-year prison sentence.
If you carry a loaded handgun, you got an automatic 3.5 years in the slammer.
The whole mess unfolded when Burress brought a loaded gun into a New York City nightclub, only to accidentally shoot himself in the leg while fumbling for it as it slipped out of his waistband on a staircase.
Right here, belt in my waistband right here, belt. And I go up some stairs and it starts to slide down my pants and I go to catch it, gun go off, boom.
Despite his football stardom, Mayor Michael Bloomberg didn't cut him any slack, emphasizing the city's zero-tolerance policy on guns. So off to prison Plaxico went, serving his 2-year sentence thanks to mandatory sentencing. And speaking of criminal behavior, what this next guy did was probably worse. In 2014, the Ray Rice domestic violence case shook the NFL. Commissioner Roger Goodell initially handed a 2-game suspension to Rice.
NFL's 2-game suspension of star running back Ray Rice of the Baltimore Ravens.
The Baltimore Ravens running back for assaulting his fiancée in an Atlantic City elevator. Defending the light penalty, Goodell stated he's been accountable for his actions. He recognizes he made a horrible mistake. That is unacceptable by his standards and by ours. But when TMZ dropped a more graphic video showing Rice knocking out his fiancée, the Ravens cut ties with him, and Goodell changed the suspension to indefinite. Although a court appeal later reinstated Rice during the season, he never returned to professional football. It just goes to show that the NFL isn't afraid to dish out consequences for bad behavior. Like the time Michael Vick was running an illegal interstate dogfighting ring at Bad News Kennels.
It has been 12 years since former Virginia Tech quarterback Michael Vick's dogfighting ring was discovered.
Back in 2007, federal authorities dropped charges on Atlanta Falcons star Michael Vick. The allegations against the quarterback were serious, involving extortion, gambling, and the brutal execution of dogs. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell condemned Vick's actions and hit him with an indefinite suspension. The league was really bothered by Vick's involvement in funding the betting and his association with illegal gambling. After pleading guilty, Vick paid his dues with a 21-month stint in federal prison and returning to the NFL in 2009, this time with the Philadelphia Eagles. Remarkably, in 2010, he not only earned a Pro Bowl spot, but also secured the Comeback Player of the Year award. But it still wasn't as bad as Spygate. In 2007, Spygate rocked the NFL with New England Patriots head coach Bill Belichick at the center. His videotaping behavior, capturing opposing team sidelines, and hand signals during games haunted the Patriots throughout their undefeated 2007 regular season.
This is an embarrassment. I mean, there's no reason for this. It's not a mistake. He cheated.
And the fallout? A hefty $500,000 fine for Belichick, a $250,000 fine for the Patriots, and the loss of their 2008 first-round draft pick. The league didn't hold back at all, even after U.S. Senator Arlene Specter criticized the NFL's investigation. Commissioner Goodell, suspecting the Patriots had been filming opponents since 2000, even met with Specter. And if you thought that was a little too intense for the league, make sure to like this video and click on that floating subscribe button for the latest NFL content. The Patriots might have messed up with that one, but what this next player did was straight up scary. Ray Lewis's murder case in 2000. Baltimore Ravens linebacker Ray Lewis found himself in serious legal trouble after a post-Super Bowl party in Atlanta took a tragic turn, resulting in the deaths of Jakeem Baker and Richard Lawler. Despite the severity of the charges, Lewis and 2 friends were acquitted on 2 counts of murder and aggravated assault. The murder weapon, a Bowie knife, and Lewis's all-white outfit from that fateful night were never recovered. Surprisingly, the outcome didn't hinder Lewis's career, as he went on to be named MVP of the following year's Super Bowl. Speaking of unsettling incidents, this next one involved Kareem Hunt, who made waves for all the wrong reasons. Despite the Kansas City Chiefs securing the title in 2020, the years leading up to Pat Mahomes outscoring Jimmy Garoppolo in Super Bowl 54 were ruined by off-field troubles. Before Tyreek Hill's almost implicated Kansas City, it was Kareem Hunt who created a major headache for the franchise. In November 2018, a video surfaced capturing Hunt assaulting a woman in a hotel. The Chiefs had no choice but to cut ties with him. Surprisingly, Hunt found employment with the Browns shortly after, leaving many to question the severity of the NFL's response, considering the glaring evidence of his misconduct. Here's another player who committed a crime just as bad. During the 2009 to 2010 period, Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback was in big trouble. Ben Roethlisberger was accused of assault not once, but twice. Despite no charges being filed, he found himself in trouble with the NFL. The league, not holding back, handed the two-time Super Bowl champ a hefty 6-game suspension for the 2010 season. Team captain Hines Ward backed the decision, saying it was justified in the face of the controversy. And we have to agree with that one. Some players just aren't careful and can get into some serious trouble. In 1998, San Francisco 49ers owner Eddie DeBartolo Jr. faced a serious hurdle in his success story.
A group of legendary 49ers are praising President Trump tonight. That's after his decision to pardon former team owner Eddie DeBartolo Jr., who was convicted in a gambling fraud scandal.
Convicted of failing to report a felony, DeBartolo, renowned for his 5 Super Bowl victories, was slapped with a $1 million fine and sentenced to 2 years of probation. The core of the matter was DeBartolo's failure to disclose that Louisiana Governor Edwin Edwards attempted to extort $400,000 from him in exchange for a riverboat casino license. The fallout was severe, with the NFL taking control of the 49ers from DeBartolo after he pleaded guilty. Paid the hefty fine, and took the stand as a witness. Meanwhile, Edwards received a 10-year federal prison sentence. Quite a twist in the story of one of the most successful owners in NFL history. Other times, NFL players struggled with personal problems that ended up turning into some pretty shocking scandals. In 1989, Cincinnati Bengals running back Stanley Wilson experienced a devastating relapse nightmare, already suspended for an entire season due to cocaine use. Wilson shocked everyone on the day of Super Bowl 23 in Miami. He claimed he needed to grab his playbook from his hotel room before a team meeting, but coaches discovered him just 20 minutes later completely catatonic from a cocaine high. As a result, he was removed from the active roster for the Super Bowl, and the Bengals suffered a 20-16 loss to the San Francisco 49ers in unfavorable wet conditions that would have suited Wilson's robust running style. To add to the tragedy, Wilson faced a lifetime ban from the NFL. But even great NFL players can get into some serious trouble for their beliefs. In late 2021, the former Green Bay Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers revealed something crazy. He admitted to not receiving the COVID-19 vaccine, despite earlier stating that he was immunized against the virus.
Green Bay Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers now admitting he has not been vaccinated against coronavirus.
This revelation led to fines for both Rodgers and the Wisconsin team for breaching the league's coronavirus protocols. But Rodgers remained resistant. In a statement on the Pat McAfee show in November 2021, Rodgers said, "I march to the beat of my drum. I believe strongly in bodily autonomy, in the ability to make choices for your body, not to have to acquiesce to some woke culture or crazed group of individuals who say you have to do something."
You guys know me, I march to the beat of my own drum. I believe strongly in bodily autonomy and the ability to make choices for your body, not to have to acquiesce to some woke culture or crazed, group of individuals who say you have to do something.
Fast forward 2 months later, and Rodgers doubled down on the same show, claiming that sports fans were actively hoping for his team to lose in the 2022 playoffs because of his vaccination status. Yikes! Speaking of the Packers, they had another messy incident much earlier in the 2010s, except this time it involved a controversial call by a referee, and it wasn't their fault. In a 2014 playoff showdown against the Green Bay Packers' Dez Bryant, the Dallas Cowboys player found himself at the center of a controversy with a catch that referees initially said was incomplete, talking about the absence of a football move in the play.
It has been determined that the receiver did not maintain possession of the football.
Had the ruling favored the Texas team, they would have earned a chance to restart from the 1-yard line. Later in 2018, the league's competition committee even officially acknowledged that the referees had made the wrong call. And that's all for the most shocking scandals in NFL history.